The 2026 World Cup is about to break the entire format you grew up with. 48 teams, 16 stadiums, 3 countries, and somehow the whole thing still has to wrap up in about a month. So how do you cram twice as many teams into a tournament that used to feel perfectly sized at 32? How do you avoid endless boring group games? And how does scheduling not collapse into total chaos? Let's break it down. First up, why expand at all? For decades, the World Cup had 32 teams. 8 groups of 4. Simple, clean, everyone understood it. But FIFA wanted more countries involved. More fans, more markets, more money, obviously. In theory, that's a win for everyone. More nations get a shot at the big stage. In practice, more teams means more logistics headaches. And FIFA had to redesign the entire tournament skeleton to make it work. Second, the new group stage setup. Instead of 8 groups of 4, we now get 12 groups of 4 teams each. That's the biggest visual change. Each team still plays 3 group games, so nothing changes for the players in terms of workload there. But here's where it gets interesting. With 12 groups, way more teams can realistically qualify for the knockouts. That changes the entire vibe of the group stage. Third, who actually advances? This is the twist. It's not just the group winners and runners-up anymore. The top 2 from each group automatically move on. That's 24 teams right there. Then, FIFA adds the 8 best third-place teams from across all 12 groups. Yes, 8. So suddenly, even finishing third in your group can be enough. You know the type of team that backs into the knockouts on goal difference. Get ready to see a lot more of that. Fourth, the new round of 32. This is brand new. The old tournament jumped straight from groups to round of 16. Now there's an extra knockout round. 32 teams enter. 16 survive. Simple math, but it adds an entirely new layer of drama. This sounds simple. It isn't. Because now teams that barely scraped through the group stage get a real shot at causing chaos in single elimination games. Fifth, more games. But is it too many? The 2026 World Cup will have 104 matches. That's way more than the 64 we're used to. More games means more chances for shocking upsets. More chances for breakout stars. More content for highlight channels, basically. But it also means a longer tournament. About 39 days total. That's a big ask for players' bodies and fans' attention spans. Sixth, why 3 host countries? The US, Canada, and Mexico are sharing hosting duties. With 48 teams and 104 matches, no single country could realistically handle that many fans, stadiums, and logistics. Spreading it across 3 countries solves a major infrastructure problem. But it also creates a new one. Travel. Teams and fans might be hopping between countries just to follow one group. That's a logistical puzzle nobody's fully solved yet. Seventh, does this dilute the quality? This is the big debate. Critics worry that adding more teams means more mismatches, more 6-0 blowouts, less competitive balance. Supporters argue it gives smaller footballing nations a real chance to experience the World Cup stage, which can boost the sport globally. Honestly, both things can be true at once. Some games might be lopsided, but some underdog stories might become legendary. So here's the bottom line. 48 teams can fit into one World Cup because FIFA redesigned the entire bracket from the ground up. More groups, a new knockout round, way more matches, and 3 countries sharing the load. Will this format make the World Cup more exciting, or will it just water down the magic of the group stage? We're about to find out. If you want more breakdowns like this before the tournament kicks off, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.